to this stream. My name is Aurélien, and we'll be talking about Fedora infrastructure applications today. And one in particular, actually, because there's the new need that has emerged recently, and I've started looking at a way to implement it, and so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it today. So there's one thing that I think is important to understand, and that's that most of our applications are connected to each other via Fedora Messaging, which is a message bus. Basically, it's a RabbitMQ server, an MQP protocol server, and what we call Fedora Messaging is a set of conventions to distribute messages using this bus. So there's a lot of messages that are JSON formatted that go around, and we do a lot of things with them. We trigger builds, we trigger updates, we trigger signing, we do a lot of we synchronize accounts from one place to another, and of course there's a ton of those, and also we can store them for historic reasons, and I'd say data engineering reasons, and we also generate notifications from them, so you can subscribe to messages, and that's going to be sent to you via email or Matrix or IRC, that sort of thing. But we only do that. So applications exchange messages because some applications publish messages, and other applications consume those messages and do things with them. So if we want to have applications that trigger other things in the infrastructure, we need them to send messages. So when it's an application that we have written, it's very easy. We just use the library, very simple. When it's not an application that we have written, then we can either, let's say, what's the name for that? When you request something, a petition, maybe the application owners to add a notification system that will either let us plug in Fedora Messaging or directly include Fedora Messaging sometimes. Or we have generic gateways such as webhook. We have a program called webhook to FedMessage that can read GitHub webhooks and translate that into Fedora Messaging messages. It's currently only doing GitHub, but the plan is for it to be able to understand other sort of webhooks and forward that to the bus. There is one very central application that we use for authentication called IPA, Identity Policy Audit, I think. Identity and Permissions and Audit. It's on freeipa.org, and we use that for accounts, for group membership, etc., etc. Right now, it doesn't know about Fedora Messaging. Of course, it's an external application, but we have a front end for that called Noggin, which lets user create their accounts on the system. And change their password and request to be added to groups and add user to groups, etc. There's a front end which is basically a self-service portal for users to register and manage their account, add in their SSH key, GPG keys, that sort of thing. So if you go through Noggin to add a user to a group, then Noggin will know to publish a message because we have written it. If you go to IPA directly to add a user in a group, then no message is being emitted because IPA doesn't know about Fedora Messaging. Only Noggin knows about it. And the consequence is that there are some operations that are not handled by Noggin that should be done by IPA in IPA itself, and sysadmins will prefer doing those. The problem is that they don't emit message in that case, and sometimes scripts don't get triggered because no message has been emitted. For example, we have added recently a group that will do some sort of synchronization between the user groups in IPA and the groups in Pagure. And when a user is added to a group without Noggin, then this script is this sync script is not triggered. So that's a bit of a problem. So I asked the IPA people if there's a way to get notified of their changes via webhooks, for example. And they don't have webhooks, but they have something else. They have standardized a way to log operations going through IPA to the journal on the machine. So what we could do is have a program that will tail the journal and convert that to Fedora messaging. Of course, doing that for IPA would be nice, but it would be preferable to do that in a generic fashion so that other things that log things into the journal can translate their stuff into Fedora messaging messages. So I have started looking at that yesterday. And I'm going to show you what I have currently, and we'll probably try to finish that because it's in a pretty good shape. So I've called it, let me share the screen, just a minute. Where's my screen? That's right here. Hello, hello. All right, that's the usual screen of the things that, unless something unexpected happens, we're not going to touch. So I've created the new repositories in GitHub. So it's called Journal to Fedora Messaging. As you'd expect, I have currently pushed some of the files. It's basically built from the cookie cutter template that we have in Fedora Infra, plus some changes. So the idea for this program will be to have, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so we'd have, maybe I should show you via VS Code, that would be easier. Yeah, do that. Just a minute. Yeah, sure. Let us open a folder. Journal to Fedora Messaging. There you go. Let's start. Yeah, fantastic. That's all good. Okay, let's see what we have. So wait, I should probably set the Python interpreter here. There should be one journal to Fedora messaging. That's the one. Is it proper? Is it suggested at the end? It is not. That's fine. It's too bad that it doesn't select it automatically using poetry, but I guess that's how it is. Where's the J? Recommended Anitya schema? Absolutely not. Journal to Fedora messaging. Yeah, okay, that's done. Okay, so there's a CLI, okay, and the CLI starts two programs. One is the journal reader. That's the program here that the class here will be running. It's async based, so it's an async class that just spawns a process. By default, it spawns journalctl with follow and output set to JSON, and it spawns that, and it reads each line and loads the JSON. Well, it unserializes the JSON and sends it to, this is an iterator. You could use async for with it, so it yields this line. And when it's done, or when we're at the end of the end of file, then you just wait for the process to stop and exit. And the sender here is going to it's expecting the send method to be called with the content of the log as a dictionary, so an unserialized JSON. It's going to try and find the schema that matches this. Wait. Yeah, that's one more validation that I should do. So yeah, that's one more thing that I need to validate. Get class. Let me check in this get class. What do you do? Get class from headers, blah, blah, blah. Schema name to class, key error. Right, it shouldn't return message. Yeah. I could just do a get class. Yeah, yeah, I'm just thinking of something here in the one in the oh. Yeah. If not log schema, okay. If get class log schema equal, well, is not installed. Yeah. All right. So so I'm reading the message. I'm getting the schema from my configuration. Yeah, let me show you what the configuration can look like. So in the configuration, I would have the command, so I can override this. I would have log entries that would specify a schema. That would be the schema that I use when I send messages coming from these elements in the journal, because I don't want to forward all the journal, right? I just want to forward some entries. So I'll have filters, and I'm going to use this the filters, the content of the log to filter out the ones that I want, apply the schema to them, and send them to the bus. If I take this example here, so there's, for example, all the logs that have IP API command set to user add. I'm going to use the schema named journal.ipa.user add and use this schema to send the messages. Okay. I wanted to. I have started this. I've tried it. I've tried it out, and it did work. Let me show you. Where's my terminal? It's right here. No. Yeah. So poetry run journal to Fedora Messaging. So what can I do with this? I have a configuration file that I can set. That's going to be this one here. And it reads the, oops, boom, boom, boom. Ah, yeah. Yes, okay, my configuration file is wrong. That's the new check that I've just added, so at least it works. That's the one here. So I'm gonna comment that out. Let's try again. So it's reading stuff. It's currently just outputting at the debug level unmatched logs because sure, they are not matched. I'm not sure I'm gonna keep this debug because it's a lot. I should add a debug anyway. Yes. All right. So there's that. What else? Yeah, let me try it on a real API server, and I have that running in tiny stage. Oof, that's not good. Yes. Infra tiny stage vagrant SSH IPA. All right. So I have put the code in opt. So this is the code that I'm going to try and test. Let's go. poetry. Do I have poetry? I do not have poetry. That's okay. I'm gonna add it. Lots of Python dependencies, of course. I wonder why there's Python Redis in there, but that's fine. Poetry install. Hey, Cyberfluenceries, how you doing? So we are looking at a small script or program that I've started writing that will be able to forward messages from the journal to... Wait, what? Oh yeah, I'm missing it, right? Yeah, pretty sure it's this. Yeah, so it's going to be able to forward some messages from the journal to Fedora Messaging. Because the problem is that we have an IPA in our infrastructure. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? Yeah, let me summarize all that. So the idea is that only the applications that we have written or that have extensible notification systems are able to send messages to Fedora Messaging. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. So that's the issue we found with, because when I was added to InfraSig in IPA and wasn't synced to Pagure. Yeah, exactly. So IPA doesn't really have a way to generate notifications, but it does have something. It has a way, it has standardized a way to log into the journal when operations are done. So what we want is something that will be able to get this data from the journal and send that to Fedora Messaging. I've started writing that yesterday, and I'm at a place where I can actually test it. So yeah, I'm not going to go over it again, but basically there's a program that is based on async.io that reads the journal. With journalctl, you can ask for a JSON output, so it's using a JSON output to be able to parse it, and it's generating the lines when they arrive, and the CLI reads those lines and sends them to the sender right here. And the sender here, it's another instance that is able to read the configuration, choose a scheme, filter out the message, filter out the log message with some filters that you can have defined, such as API command equal user add, and use then the schema here to decide to instantiate a Fedora Messaging schema and send the message. Well, instantiate a Fedora Messaging message using this schema and send the message. That's what it does here. Republishing, blah, 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 creating the instance and logging the problem. So this is based on Fedora Messaging is using Twisted. So I have this small wrapper here. Well, I need to wrap it a little bit to convert the defaults from Twisted into futures for async.io, but that's basically the same thing. Okay, so what did it not install? Let me try again. It's not able to get, failed to clone, blah, blah, blah. Ref exists. Oh yeah, maybe I'm wrong in this. Poetry update. Oh, wait. Yes, I think that's my fault this time. So there's the schema. I'm using GitHub for those schemas here because I haven't published a version yet. Poetry update this. There you go. Okay, so let's do it now. Cloning, preparing. Okay, good. Okay, so if I look at my journal, I will see not a lot of things. I'm not sure I'm going to see anything from IP actually, because I'm not root when I run that. So I can either run my program as root, which is possible but not optimal, or I can use, instead of So instead of journalctl here as my journalctl command, I'm going to put in sudo journalctl. And I'm going to allow myself to run sudo command without password, which is the case in Vagrant. So let's start. Journal to Fedora Messaging. Does it run? It runs. Let's use the command line to set a configuration file. So I see a lot of unmatched logs, that's fine. But the logs that I see here, yeah, I see the sudo dnf install git, session closed for user root, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm gonna open another session here. And I'm gonna create a user and see if that works. See if I get something in there. It's taking a bit of time because of the Kerberos exchange, etc., etc. Is that clear what we're trying to do? Because I can go over it again. But all right, it's here. So now let's see if I'm authenticated first. Of course I'm not. So let's log in. I suppose I'm gonna get some log here. I am not getting some logs, that's fine. IPA user add testing. It's very slow. Oh, okay. Well, testing user. Okay, it's created. Did I get a log? I did not get a log. Why? Okay, I'm gonna try and debug that by printing the messages that I get from the journal, because I'm pretty sure that there was new stuff. Oh no, there wasn't any new stuff. Oh yeah, no, there's one. Okay, so I did get something about my sudo usage here, but why did I not get the IPA API one right here? User add, blah, blah, blah. I didn't see it. Why? Why did I not see it? I see it here in the logs. So what happened? My last log was the sudo dnf install git. Okay, fine. Do I have it here? Probably. Sudo. No. It's way above that. No? Where is it? Oh, that's the one here. DNF install git. Okay, that's old. And then there was nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Okay. Why is this link here? I don't know. Anyway. But I'm getting less stuff than I thought I would get. journalctl-f. So sudo journalctl-f. Am I getting new stuff here? Okay. It's very slow. I'd like to know why it's so slow. That's a little bit concerning. Anyway. So my question would be, when I do an IPA operation, is it arriving in my program? Yes, so I see it in the journal. Cool. Let's see if in my application I'm seeing it as well. Let's take the journal. Line, log line, content. Let's just see if I'm seeing this. That should be sufficient. It's very slow. Why is it so slow? Let me investigate this. No. There's something about name resolution that doesn't work. So I got the ping. I did the ping. I should see it in the... Oh, there's probably some sort of buffer problem. So let's check. Python async IO. Oh no, that was nice. Python async IO. Okay, I want to run processes. Okay, I'm running those processes. Is it sufficient to do a read? What am I doing wrong? So what's going on? Why is it so slow? should be extremely fast. Why is it so slow? Setting session cookie into context. Okay. So, what am I trying to do? I don't remember. So there's this. I'm trying to ping. I'm not getting any response. That's kind of weird. Constraint delegation, okay. Let's see if I can get a new log. There's something called logger, right? Or journal. Yeah, logger will do. There's testing here that I'm getting. Okay, I'm getting this message. Okay, unmatched log. Okay, I'm getting this. Got log line. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay. So I am getting these lines, but I'm not getting all the lines. I do get some lines, but I'm not getting the IPA lines. Why is that? Ooh, ticket expired. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm trying to get IPA to generate messages that I will read in the application. Let's see. Ah, there is something here. Schema up to date, blah blah blah, non-fingerprints, okay. Version. I'm not getting this log. Yeah, ping success, okay. But I'm not getting this log here. Why is that? Did it run with sudo? Let's see. Oh, it's running journalctl without the sudo. Well, that's dumb. I should have checked that earlier. Okay, fine. What's wrong with this? Sudo journalctl, okay. So here, I'm supposed to be getting journalctl. Oh, it's journalctl command. Okay, my bad. Journal CTL command. Sorry. Yes, that's gonna be much better. Let's try again. Okay, so now I'm getting my own sudo line, of course, that's logical. And let's see if I can get this, if I can get the ping. Am I getting the ping? I don't know. Then I'm gonna try the user add, which is the only one that I'm actually filtering in. Okay, what am I getting? Oh, that's interesting. So I'm getting WSGA, system C group. What's the message? Where's the message? Where is the message? Oh, no, CMD line. What's the message? I don't see the message of this. Well, there has to be a message, no? Oh, here, message. GSS API client step 1. Okay, good. That's not what I'm interested in, but it's there. Then here. Message, GSS API client step 1. Boring. Of course, it's not sorted. That would make things so much easier. That would be cheating. CMD line, blah, blah, blah. Syslog identifier is empty. That's good to know. Oh, it's here. Just simply step 1. All right. Ah, this is more interesting, I think. Yes, code line, code func, audit to journal. Ah, there it is. Message API, IPA API, ping success, blah, blah, blah. The API command is ping. I have the information that I need. Okay, good. So I do get the information that I wanted. It's just that I wasn't running it with sudo. Of course, I wouldn't get the information from all the system, but that's how it is. Okay. So what I can do now, I'm going to run that, and I'm going to recreate my user. So add testing. What do you need to have? Probably a first and last. Testing last is user. And what did it ask me last time? Oh, it's probably very high. Or is it? First name and last name, that's all. Okay, let's do this. And see if we are getting it in the journal. And what happens? I expect a crash. Honestly, I expect a crash. Republishing. Ooh, that's cool. So republishing this. Oh, but I haven't. Right. So I'm republishing this. However, However, my tiny stage, the Vagrant machine for Fedora Messaging isn't up. It's called tiny stage as well. Oof. I need to run it so that the bus is available. What happened here is that the thing must have failed, or it may be still waiting for the publication. Republishing, I should have added some log command when it's done. Republishing. Okay. Error publishing message shutting down. Yes, I need to set a timeout, right? I need to set a timer. So twisted publish here is a function in Fedora Messaging, and I'm pretty sure that there has to be a way to set the timeout. What is it? Wait, timeout equal timeout. How do I wait for a deferred in twisted? I don't remember. How do I wait for a deferred in twisted? Or do I do that in twisted? Yes, I should probably do that in twisted. Let's look at the docs. Well, maybe not, but let's look at, let's search. Twisted deferred timeout. Deferred reference, that sounds good. Timeouts. Add timeout. Okay. Let's see if we can do that in async IO. Python async IO timeout future timeout. Okay, so I can do tasks. Async IO the timeout delay. Okay. Oh, nice. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so, okay. Here, my send method is not async. Well, it's not async per se. It returns a future, right? Right. Do waiting primitives. Maybe that's better. Wait for an awaitable. What's an awaitable? To complete one. Hmm. Hmm. Do I have something about futures? So, event loop, task and futures, okay. Future object. Add done callback, remove done callback, cancel, exception, get loop. Okay. I could probably... Yeah, okay, let's do this differently then. Let's say that this function is no async. My future is this. And I'm going to add a timeout. And the way to do that is exactly what was described here. Is that recent? Added in version 3.11. Ah, yeah, it's kind of recent. Do I have requirements on 3.11 already? I sort of remember seeing that. Yeah, that's kind of recent. Let's see how you did that in 3.10. Or maybe 3. Am I targeting 3.9? Yeah, probably. Let's see how we did that in here. Okay. Await, wait for. Okay. I could do that. Async IO wait for. Okay. I have it already. So, how am I sending things? I have my future here. Okay. So now I can do try return await async io dot wait for my future, so the future, and the timeout. Timeout equal 30. I should put that in the configuration, I believe, no? It's probably better. Yeah, it's probably better. self.config get publish timeout, I suppose. Sounds correct. 30 timeout. So I'm doing a wait for here. Okay. Except asyncio.timeout error. Logger.error. Well, error. Well, warning maybe. Timeout. Okay. And I can probably put all these. Yeah, I'd like to do the try excepts here as well. Except publish returned as E. Let's put this one right here. Okay, and let's do the same for the connection exception. Connection exception. And let's also do a generic exception. And that's gonna be this line. E. And if not, then I'm gonna log that everything went well. Okay. Let's not add the callbacks for now and see if we can get away with this. Why is it? Well, try except what's wrong with this? Code is unreachable. Why? Why is it unreachable? Try except. Oh, because I always get the, okay, yeah. That's gonna be better. Otherwise it returns and doesn't go there. That's a good point. Okay, let's see if that works. So I'm gonna have to wait a timeout of 30 seconds. Then in the meantime, I'm gonna set my MQP server to the right value, which I can find here. Fedora Messaging, I suppose, no? Where is it? tinystage.uml? Yes, that's the thing. I'll put it here. Okay, we're good. It's running. Good. Yeah. All right, let's start again. And match log, blah blah blah. That's normal. Let's delete. Let's delete. Let's delete this. I think I should start reading the logs from right when the program starts and not anything too far back in the past. So I should probably run with since 0s, so I don't get duplicated logs in case I restart the thing. Anyway, oh, there's something happened here. That's the... Okay, user del, that's fine. And now let's do the user add again. Let me write some to do. Let's add a new file. To do .md. Is that gonna work? I don't know. Is it working? So, what did I do? What did I see? What do I see here? Republishing, that's good. Timeout sending message after 30 seconds. That worked. Okay, that's pretty good. Same message on topic. Yes. Is that still too long? Nah, that's fine. Okay. So it's still unable to reach, but that's, I suppose, it might be because I do not have the new machine in etc host. No, I do have it. Okay. So can I ping it? Okay. Can I try to log in with it with the... Can I connect to it? Oh, maybe it's waiting for me to... Okay. Maybe it needs me to start the connection already. So, because if I do a publish here, what's happening? When I do a publish, it does the setup, okay? It calls twisted publish wrapper. Publish, yes. Oh, it does this. That's init twisted service. That's the thing. Okay, I need to start this one. So how do I start this? It's possible that I'm able to do that, to call this one multiple times. Yes. Okay, so I need to call this one. It's kind of weird to do that. Yeah, it's really weird to do that. Let's see a connect. Relate configuration. Let's do a connect function. That's gonna call just init twisted service. Now I should really not have to do that. I'm not gonna put a connect here. I'm gonna call that on each send. Let's see if that works now. Republishing. I see it. I still see it in the logs. Is it gonna work? We'll see. Something tells me it's not gonna work. I will like to have more logs. So Fedora Messaging is at info level. I should probably put Pika here at info level as well, just for good measure. What happened? Unmatched logs, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Timeout. Yeah. Let's just do things a little bit less clean. Since 1 hour. So I don't have to replay all those. Oh. Does this work? Oh. That's not how you do things? Okay. Since... Okay, the format is... Okay. Okay. Ah, it's now. I can use now. By the way, I can use now. Yeah, that works. Relative times may be prefixed with minus or plus. Ah, that's how you do it. Okay. Okay, nice. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do... So what right now it is... So what's the time? It's... According to this thing, it's 3:41. That's weird. It's really not up to date, but let's roll with it. 03. Let's see if that works. Okay, am I replaying anything? Republishing. I'm not seeing any improvement. It's probably gonna fail again. Did it fail already? Yeah, it's not running Fedora Messaging. Why is that? Let's see if I can get twisted service from there and print it. Let's try again. Yeah, something's wrong here. None and none. Okay. So the init twisted service didn't do anything. That's weird. Why did it not work? It should work. Init twisted service. I'm probably doing something wrong here. It's none. I'm calling this. Calling the reactor. Call when running. Oh. No, no, that doesn't work. Nope, sorry. No, that doesn't work. So. You're telling me print twisted service. Oh yeah, it still hasn't started, that's the thing. Let's try, see what we get. End of init twisted service, it's still none. Well, you gotta be kidding me. It can be none. I just set it to something. Okay, yeah, that I can't really import things like this then, I suppose. Okay. I'm gonna do things differently then. If I have to import that many things. Not API here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I have set it to a value, but it's still not running. How do I mean, the reactor should be running already. Oh, maybe I didn't start the reactor? How do I start the reactor? Ooh, that's tricky. Run in reactor. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, I need to do the reactor run thing. That's kind of weird, but I think I need to do something like this. How do I start reactor.run from async.io? Yeah, let's see. I've seen suggestions on how to handle twisted with async.io. Hmm. Yeah, I'm guessing that I'm gonna have to do that. So can I run the reactor? I can run the reactor from a thread, I suppose. So how do I run? Yeah, I have async.io code. How do I run twisted with it? Hmm. Still not what I want to know. Let's see if it's the search engine. Installing the AC. Okay. Waiting on the thirds. Okay, that's fine. Using twisting on async.io. One is running twisting on top of async.io. The other is running async.io on top of twisted. Twisted is run over async. I think that's what I want. Return react. What's react? Okay. Hmm. crochet. Let's see how they do things. Yeah, that's tricky. I've gone with async.io for spawning the journal, but actually I could have done that in Twisted, which would have made the entire thing easier because it's just using Twisted and not async.io. However, at some point, we are probably going to migrate from Twisted to async.io, purely async.io in Fedora Messaging. So I didn't want to create more code that would need to be ported afterwards. Maybe that was a bad idea. Because the reactor hasn't started yet at that time, at that point. Should I rewrite it all in Twisted? It's tempting. It's very tempting. Let's see how much work it would be. Where's the Twisted docs? There they are. Okay, blah, 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 Twisted core. Deferreds. Thing is that I kind of dislike this. I would much prefer keeping async.io everywhere as I can, everywhere possible, and do Twisted only where it's absolutely necessary. If I do reactor.run, it's gonna block. But I could do this, I suppose, from async.io. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. IO run reactor. Maybe it should be just reactor.run. Ha! Let's see if I can just replace that and make it work. That would be weird, I suppose, but we'll see. Here I'm doing runner.run. Ah, yeah, okay, because I have my runner here. Let's just replace this. with reactor.run. Or there's something called React, right? Right. Twisted internet task React. So that's going to be React. Run reader sender. Well, React is going to ask for a deferred, right? Where's React? Wait, what? Task React. Twisted internet task. Where's task? React. Call main and run the reactor until the deferred returns fires or the coroutine it returns completes. So I want to convert the future into a deferred. So I'm going to do that with from future. Import deferred. So I'm converting this this future to a deferred, and I'm reacting on it. Okay. And if I get a keyboard interrupt, then instead of doing this, I'm going to do a react same stuff. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure that's gonna work, but maybe. Just maybe. It still kind of works. I have my service. Is my reactor running? I don't know. Shutting down doesn't work anymore. Did it sync properly? Did I do this? Yes, I should have done this. Okay. Sorry, I'm just fiddling a little bit with things right now. From twisted internet reactor, print reactor is or running. Oh. So what's my reactor instance? How do I get my reactor instance? Sorry. Wait, what? Reactor dot. Sorry. fiddling with things all the time. Internet. No, internet is fine. Okay, reactor. Call when running. Ah, running. Okay, let's see. Reactor is not running. Yeah, it hasn't been run actually. But I did ask it to run, right? Didn't I? I mean, I was here. Maybe, did I import Fedora messaging from here? Yes, so it should have set the reactor to something correct. Oh, of course. Yeah, there's that. That pretty much needs to be... Of course. Well, I'm never getting to that point, of course. All right, let's try again. Ah. Run was never awaited, yes. Well, yeah, of course. Add done callback. Oh yeah, it needs to be a future and that's a coroutine. Okay. React, what does React need? Callable. Ah, yes. Or the coroutine it returns completes. Yes, okay, so I can do that with coroutines. That's good news, I suppose. So I can do just React. I have this, okay, and I have the argvs. Okay, I suppose I could do that. So I don't have to get to do the from future thing, which means I don't need this. Let's try again. Run takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Okay. Oh. Oh, really? Oh, it takes it. Okay. Oh, yeah, it gets the reactor as a first argument. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. It means run here gets the reactor. That's fine. Let's try that. Let's try it this way. No running event loop. Huh. Let's see if I'm actually what my reactor instance type is. Can I have this information from the reactor itself? Run, stop, crash, iterate. Hmm. maybe I need to do this. I may need to do this. Let's see. Ooh, reactor already installed. Huh. Okay, so you're telling me it's already installed. Fine, I believe you. Then print something about the reactor itself, please. So I know which reactor we're talking about here. It's an EPOL reactor, it's not the async IO. Okay, all right. So in Fedora Messaging, where do I set the reactor? Probably here, right? Yes. I'm gonna do that earlier, as in here. Let's see what if you tell me it's already installed. You are telling me it's already installed. Okay. How about now? What do you mean already installed? Oh. Ah, it's a different error. Thank you. So you're telling me false here, which means it's not running? What's the false coming? Where's the false coming from? Yeah, it's not running. So, but it should be running now. Because I'm doing a react on it. How come you're running the run function without... I don't like this. Reactor is not running. But let's print the reactor. Oh yes, because async IO is not running itself. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. So you're not really running... What if I do something like this? But React is not an async IO function. I need to take a small break. I'll be back soon. Sorry about that. Yeah, back. All right. So since we're using the async IO reactor in Twisted here, I don't think we should need to. I don't think we should need to run this. I don't think that's gonna work. Let's try. Yeah, async IO selector reactor. That's fine. But it tells me that the reactor is not running. I think I'm tired. I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do a. Okay, so I could do this with Twisted. I could do the spawning of the program with Twisted and read the output in Twisted and do all things Twisted here, and everything will be fine and we'd all be very happy. I wanted to avoid that though. You know what? Call main and run the reactor until the defer it returns fire or the coroutine it returns completes. A way to start up an application with a well-defined completion condition. Use it to write clients or one-off asynchronous operations. Which is not exactly the case, but yeah, it's somehow client, however. Prefer this to calling reactor.run directly, as this function will also reactor.stop, log any failures from the deferred return by main, exit the application when done. Well, I don't want to exit the application, right? So they're suggesting that I should do this. Does this actually work? I'm surprised it even starts at all. That is very annoying. So I have this async.io application and I want to do something. That's crazy. I mean, I have call twisted from async.io. There should be something. I don't want to use async.io in Twisted. I want to use Twisted in async.io. Ah. Okay, that's fine. Async.io does create task. I'm gonna try this. Yeah, let's do things. Let's try it differently. Okay. Let's try a third way of doing things. Annoying. So here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Create task. This. And then reactor.run. Reactor.run. Oh yes, that's not gonna work, obviously. And nothing happens, obviously. Create task. That doesn't work. Oh yeah, because I haven't run my reactor. My runner here. Except this is supposed to be starting the reactor, the loop, the async IO loop. This is getting annoying. Going in circles. And then I'm doing reactor.run and nothing happens. Very tired. Okay, let's just do it differently again. This time I'm not using a runner. I'm just going to do syncIO.get event loop. Then I'm creating the task. What's wrong with this? What's the problem? Right. It's getting very crazy. I really don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. Task object is not a callable because I'm calling task, I'm calling React on it, right? Right. Yes. Let's try that and see if that works. Oof. Okay, things have happened. I'm gonna drop the unmatched log because it's annoying. Oh, I'm an async now. So I shouldn't need this. Oh crap, it works. Oh. Well, that's annoying. It works. Okay. So it does start up the thing, because this time I'm using reactor.run and not React. But I have created the task. I'm just running the reactor. Just reactor.run is going to run the, is pretty much like runner.run, right? I would prefer using React if that was possible. Like, why doesn't this work? Oh yeah, of course, that's never gonna work. Yeah, that's never gonna work. React is supposed to be starting the reactor. Okay, right. Yeah, I know. So I would prefer, if possible, to use React. Is this gonna work? No. No running event loop. Reactor is not running at that point. I'm gonna do it twisted base. But I want to do async for log in the reader. Okay, let's just say that React doesn't work. Let's say that React doesn't work. Let's go with this one. Can I do asyncio.create task? I can do that, right? Create task. Where's my asyncio? Create task. Let's see if that works. Or should I just do run until complete, maybe? Probably should do run until complete. Run until complete. Well, that's not gonna work because I haven't started it yet. Schedule, maybe. Call soon. Call soon. Let's try call soon. Oh, it's a callback. So it has to be run reader sender. I don't really like it. Yeah, it's not happening. And this does work, right? Wait, what? I really don't like it. Reactor.call soon, maybe? No. Yep, it's annoying. So there is something that works, and that's loop.create task, but it's not recommended to do nothing with the result of this task. It should be weighted. What if I do React or of deferred from coroutine, which is the coroutine, so the thing, close it. And you should never get there, but I'm gonna comment it anyway. Yeah, React doesn't want a deferred, right? React wants a callable or a coroutine. Oh, I'm tired of this. I would really prefer to get rid of all twisted code in Fedora Messaging, but not sure that's doable anytime soon because the libraries that we have with async.io for AMQP are not really well developed. There's IOPK, but it doesn't have the API that I need to handle rejection from the server. Like, it doesn't tell me when a message is rejected. That's, well, maybe that's not the one, but there's something that it doesn't tell me, and it hasn't moved a lot since the last time I looked. So I have a schedule to look at it regularly, but yep. Now this one, Pika's support for async.io is really basic. You have to pretty much do everything yourself, which is why AO Pika seemed interesting, but it's not using Pika anymore. So yeah, they didn't change the name, but it's not using Pika anymore. A way to get there would be to contribute to Pika to improve the async.io support in Pika. I think that's the best path forward, but it's a lot of work. Yep. Well, I think I'm gonna go with the full twisted thing. It's not great, but it's also not a lot of code. So, too bad. So, documentation, please. Names, pair, web, words, API references. Yeah, core maybe. Developer guides. Reactor basics probably. Using processes. Okay. So as a result, everything in there is going to become twisted based. But yeah. So that's going to become going to use React. Use not this. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. So sad. Inline callbacks. Getting the reactor there. I don't need it there. That's sad. It's just sad. Okay. So how did you do iterators in Twisted? I don't remember. All the API is going to change. That's annoying. You need the producer. Yeah, I need to get back to this doc, which was doing this the proper way. Where's the docs? Right here. Vector overview. No. Using another process. Right. Okay, running another process. Okay. Spawn process. I don't know what the process protocol is, but I guess I'll discover that pretty soon. Everything is so complex with. Anyway, that's the process protocol. The executable is it's self.command 0. The args are self.command 1. Oh no, you're giving it the argv0. Okay, that's full path to the program for the program to run. Okay. Oh no, so low level. So low level. Connection made, out received, error received, and connection lost. I don't want to do all this twisted bullshit. Wow. That's exactly why I didn't want to go the twisted route, because it is so complex. I'm gonna have to out received with data, streaming. Do I have data but streaming from process? efficient high volume streaming, consumer, further reading. There's a producer and consumer API. No. Okay. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm gonna try to do things I am now officially annoyed. No way I'm going with twisted. That's by the way. I should really do that. I should really convert that to twisted and to async IO and be done with it, really. This is so annoying. Okay, what I know works is this. Create task. Loop.create task with this. Reactor.run. Not cool, that doesn't exist. So I know this works, right? Yes, it works. It's just not very clean to do this create task here, because usually I want to get the rest. I hate this. No. Call later? Call from thread? No. No. Someone still say that on February last year. Yeah. Okay. I'm tired of this. It's also 6 here, so I think I'm gonna stop and ponder on this. Am I going to do some work that is kind of complex, but I know will work in the end, and use Twisted, and then be forced to rewrite it next in the future when we migrate Fedora Messaging away from Twisted to async IO? But that might be in the long run. That might be in like 2 years from now. Or do I try to have most of the... Actually, that's a good example. I have an application that is async IO based. I want to use Fedora Messaging. How do I do this? How can I do it? Is there an equivalent of Crochet but for async IO? It's doing this, right? It has an async. I'm doing main React Lambda reactor and show deferred. Oh, maybe I need to do this. Maybe that's a good way to do this. Let's try. I mean, they do this. Let's try. Let's see if we can get the best of both worlds with this. It's here. And show deferred. Okay. Let's comment that out again and comment this. One more try. So I have React here. The React call here is using this. lambda reactor ensure deferred of, so it's gonna be run reader sender, because I don't care about the reactor. Thank you very much. Could this run? Oh, it's not from there. And show deferred is from, oh yeah, internet deferred. Okay. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Should have seen this, by the way. That's okay. No running event loop. Is reactor running? False. Why is it not running when I do React, when I use React here? I can understand that. It should be working. Really, it's not clear to me at all. Yep, it's annoying. It's really annoying. Where's my React diff? It's no, not here, not you. React. Why is it not running? I'm doing this. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here because it's really too complex. I need to think a little bit about it a little more and try some more things. Yeah, sorry, it's probably been pretty hard to follow, but I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. So. All right, I'm going to stop there and I'll see you next week for more fun. Bye, everyone.